headphones to the microphone. I will turn this off just in case there's interference. So, good afternoon everyone. My name is Giulia. It's strange now switching to English. I hope everyone understands what I say. If you need the headphones, they're over there. If not, please ask me to repeat. I'm really happy to be here today. Thank you very much for the invitation. It's an incredible opportunity to tell our story and hear other incredible stories. Progetto QUID is an Italian success story, but as we've discovered, there are many unsuccessful elements that bring to actual success or results. Progetto QUID is an Italian fashion brand. You'll say Italians and fashion, how boring, just the usual. But Progetto QUID decided to give fashion a different spin. This is because in 2013, when QUID was born, when it was founded, the idea of the founders, who are not here today because Anna Fiscale, who is the main founder, just had a baby girl, so she couldn't come over. I hope I am a representative that stands up to the expectations. Progetto QUID was founded with an idea, that of creating social value within fashion. I don't know if you know, but on an international level, now fashion is receiving a lot of criticism because of the negative impact it has on its workers and also on the environment. There are many fashion brands that aren't respectful of the workers, and they are not respectful of our environment. But Progetto QUID wanted to do it differently. So we are an ethical fashion brand that we believe all fashion brands should be ethical, but let's say that we are a step towards that result, that all fashion brands can be ethical. Why are we ethical? First of all, QUID was born with the idea of creating social inclusion through employment for people who are excluded by the job market. Why are they excluded by the job market? Because they struggle with social stigma. As a social cooperative, QUID must, by law, employ at least 30% of people who belong to the so-called disadvantaged categories that in Italy are people who suffer with disabilities, with addiction, or people that have been in prison for a certain amount of time. But we realized, when QUID was born, that they don't really answer to all the social stigmas that people struggle with and that limit their opportunities to access the job market. That is why Progetto QUID decided to extend this pool of beneficiaries that was recognized, that was certified by law, and also to people who don't have a technical certification of disadvantage, which is an expression that I don't like using, which is the technical term though. And it decided to include as beneficiaries in its project of inclusion through employment also for women who've been victims of violence, of human trafficking, for labor purposes or prostitution purposes, and to asylum seekers. Progetto QUID specifically focuses on female employment, also because in Italy, we still have one of the worst employment levels in Europe. We're the second worst for female inclusion in the job market. So the idea was to really create social value through the employment of people who, in a creative environment like that of fashion, could take a step forward towards their integration and inclusion in society, emancipation through a job, so economic independence, and that could increase their self-esteem and sense of self-worth and belief in themselves by contributing positively to something that not only is useful, because we all have to wear clothes, but that is also beautiful. Because QUID decided to create a fashion brand that could be in line with trends and always be appreciated as much as possible by, obviously, also the final consumer, not only us, that we make our fashion collections. And this is as far as the social aspect, but what happens, what do we do for the environment? For the environment, QUID decided to do one thing, one step at a time. There are many problems that are involved in the fashion industry. There's a waste of resources, of water, chemical substances are used in too big quantities, and another thing is the waste of the fabric and the waste of the clothing. So first, the very first idea that QUID had was that of taking unsold items of clothing from other companies, modify them, and then sell them. This was the first step, the first element that QUID didn't really get right, because it didn't really account for a scalable project. It couldn't become particularly big. But with the companies that had provided these unsold products, it realized that there was another enormous problem in the fashion industry, which was that of unsold, overstock, surplus fabric. So top quality fabric that is left in warehouses that might never become an item of clothing, that just stays there, gathers dust, and maybe one day will be sold to some company across the world to make scraps out of it, or to be sent to incineration, or to be just left to pollute our environment. So these very textile materials, these very fabrics, QUID decided to employ them in the production of its fashion collections. These fabrics at the very beginning were donated to QUID in very small quantities. Usually it's fabrics that come from previous seasons that are in limited quantities, so the result is that they don't allow you to produce many of the same product. So for example, this jumpsuit that I am wearing today doesn't exist in many pieces that look exactly like this one. They keep changing because the fabric that we have keeps changing because it exists in limited quantities. So now we work with 20-30% of fabrics that are donated to us, and the remaining percentage is purchased by Progetto QUID, but at lower prices or at symbolic prices, all because they're not easily introduced into production cycles of other fashion companies, because other fashion companies can't really deal with having not many pieces per item in the stores. You just pick any brand that you can think of that is one of the fast fashion brands, and you will realize that if you enter a store of one of these fashion brands, you don't really imagine that in all the other stores in Latvia, in Europe, the products will be different. They will have the same shape, but will be in other fabrics. That does not happen. So if I go into H&M here, and if I go into H&M in Verona, I will probably find the same exact products. Whereas Progetto QUID doesn't do that. So that gives the products a uniqueness, the element of limited edition, even though we create one season for spring-summer and one collection for autumn-winter, like it was done traditionally in the past. So I was saying there's the ethical and social value in QUID. There's this environmental sustainability element, and there's the Made in Italy, which still has a particular strong value in the fashion industry. But at the same time, our products are symbolic. Why? Because they are the result of the chance that was given to these fabrics and the chance that was given to the people that find a job in QUID when they would probably find it very, very hard to access the job market for long-term employment and get out of the welfare system that is not structured enough to support all the people that belong to the disadvantaged categories and that does not support the people that don't certify as such. So this is the multifaceted value proposition that QUID has, and that the clothes peg, which is the logo, technically would like to hold all the values together. It's the symbol that holds all these values together. Some people ask, so I will tell you this beforehand. Progetto QUID is the name that was chosen because quid in Latin means something, and there's an expression in Italian that is quel quid in più, that means that's something more, that's something extra. So QUID products don't only want to be fashion products, they want to be also the means to create social value and reduce environmental impact. So it tries to be a 360 degrees product. And as well as a multifaceted value spectre, there's also the fact that QUID decided to create a business model that, although being a social cooperative, could be strong in the market. We have been talking all day about the fact that to really support a project in the long term, for it to be sustainable, it has to deal with money, it has to deal with income, it has to deal with the profit. We are a not-for-profit organization that has decided that the only means to go forward, the only drive to actually scale and employ as many people as possible and grow and give opportunities of inclusion to as many people as possible was that of creating a solid business model. The t-shirt business model, the one that customized products and then sold it, wasn't scalable, wasn't replicable. But along the way, with the support of advisors and the support of other fashion companies in our territory, we realized what path we could follow and hopefully create a product and a project that could be sustainable in the long run. So Progetto QUID produces in two different ways. On one hand, we have our B2C activity, which is the business-to-customer activity, where we produce our own fashion collections, our ethical fashion collections that carry the label Progetto QUID. And these are produced internally, designed and produced internally in our production site in Verona, in the north of Italy, and they are then sold in our distribution channels, in our stores and in multi-brand stores and online. But on the other hand, we collaborate with other businesses, other fashion companies, not only fashion companies, also lifestyle, the companies that belong to the lifestyle industry or furniture industry. I will specify later what exactly this means. And with them, we design in collaboration products that are produced internally by Progetto QUID, that allow us to produce greater volumes of products and thus reach out to more people that find a job in QUID. And while these products are labeled with our brand, Progetto QUID, they are also labeled with the partner brand that we are collaborating with. But then these products are purchased by the partner brand and distributed by the same brand elsewhere in their distribution channels. This means for us that we have an incredible visibility opportunity and a chance to really enhance the awareness of what ethical fashion should be, because we collaborate with companies that already include social responsibility in their activities, but also with fashion companies that don't already have that channel. And we create in the consumer that often doesn't know what ethical fashion is. I don't know about you, but it's quite a new theme, quite a new industry, quite a new topic. So many times people just ask me, what is ethical fashion? What is it exactly? So selling products that are of ethical fashion in chains that are not specifically, don't have a specific vocation to ethics, that gives us the chance to reach out to people that would never have come to our stores because they'd never heard of us yet. And here you can see some of our products. These are products that are from last year's collection. I didn't have the best recent photos to show you, but if you're interested, you can visit our site or our social channels and you can see what is in store now. And alongside our ethical collections, as I said, when we produce for others, when we produce for other fashion companies or lifestyle companies, we most of the time make accessories. And if it's fashion companies, it might be a headband, a hairband, or a scarf, or a belt. So usually it's smaller, easier products. But in some occasions, like in the case of our collaboration with a supermarket chain that sells organic food, we have produced a collection for the kitchen. So we have decided to try and develop competence also in the production of accessories that aren't strictly related to fashion. So in this case, for example, we made bread baskets or aprons or oven mittens for the oven. So we've tried different things, and we try our best to make products that can respond to the requests of companies that aren't strictly related to fashion, with the objective of really creating a network that can create awareness around the topics that QUID wants to bring on. This is an idea of how these two channels have grown along the years. So the first year, as I said, we only had these customized products that we sold in temporary stores, or we had a little corner in stores of our city, and we didn't really manage to push that forward. And the people that were employed through other social cooperatives. But and the first year, we also started a small collaboration with these two fashion brands that you might know, Calzedonia and Intimissimi, that are based in Verona. So it's part of the Calzedonia group that is based just outside Verona, so it was the first company that we decided to approach, basically, because they were nearby. But they realized, they were very helpful in making us understand that the chance to move forward, to create something that would really, as we would like to say, our vision is to change fashion world one dress at a time. And for us to pursue this mission, they helped us understand that actually producing our ethical fashion collections was the only way. So in the second year, the business model changed and our model of production changed. And we managed to open our first workshop, employ 9 people in this workshop in activities like dressmaking, design, quality check, and management of the warehouse. And we also we intensified the collaborations that already existed with Calzedonia and Intimissimi, and we started another collaboration with Altro Mercato, that is the Italian fair trade company. So we had on one hand companies that were in the fashion world that didn't have a specific social value mission, but on the other hand we continued collaborations. We created and continued over the years collaborations with entities that have this social and environmental value within their statute. And we also managed to, after a long and hard application process, we managed to win the European Social Innovation Competition, which was an aspect that supported our growth thanks to the grant that we won, and also thanks to the support and the expertise provided by the organization. And in the following years, the project has grown consistently. We've now changed 2 workshops, and next year we will be able to move into, we will be able to move into a bigger workshop, and we now have 5 stores that are only Progetto QUID stores, not in the temporary form like we had before, but they are stable Progetto QUID stores, and we have reached collaborations with over 10 fashion brands and lifestyle brands that every year come back to us and decide to have a new co-branded collection, to create a new co-branded collection with them. So this development was possible. How? It was possible with thanks to the team that QUID had, thanks to the support of the network that we managed, that was created along the years, and also obviously, and most importantly for our project to become financially sustainable, also the support that we received in forms of grants and prizes. Often the support that we received in the form of grants and prizes came with mentoring. So on one hand, we'll have the financial support, but what has been incredibly supportive was the fact that we had entities like the training program of the European Investment Bank and the support of incubators that, in this case, I specified here 2 Italian ones that are Social Fair and Make a Cube. we like using English names for things. I don't know about people in Latvia, but Italians just love using English names for things. And this support was crucial in building up a strategy and building up our skills in impact measurement and the skills that we had in fundraising for the time being. The difficulties that we have in maintaining the sustainability in QUID is also supported still by a team of fundraising, of which I am part. And the business development, the retail development, all skills that the team had to develop along the way. Obviously, growing, when QUID was born, the people that were part of the team merely had business skills and economic skills and social studies skills. But the fashion aspect and the retail aspect came along the way also through the support that was given to us by these incubators and accelerators. But now, QUID has just recently started an experiment, a new experience that we are really, really happy about, which is that of impact investment. Just a month ago, we started this collaboration with an impact investment fund that previously only invested in other countries. It's an Italian impact investment fund that before only worked with other countries and started its experiment, even for them, working in Italy with an Italian project. We're one of the first projects in Italy that are initiating a collaboration that is in the impact investment area. And what does this mean? That the support, the financial support that we will receive and the amount of money that we will have to give back to them is strictly related to our key performance indicators in the social, in our social mission and environmental mission. So it's strictly connected to how many people we will be able to support over the years, how many people will be employed, the quality of their life, the quality of their employment, and also, on the other hand, our carbon footprint, the amount of environmental impact that QUID will have. It will influence how much of this investment we will have to give back and how much of the interest will be reduced over the years with the monitoring and measurement of this, of our impact. And the support that we are now receiving, that we'll receive over the next years of this collaboration with the investment fund, will be focused on what? On, obviously, creating a project that can more and more prove to be sustainable in the long run without external support. And really use this financial support to develop our retail strategy and develop whatever will increase our capability of reaching higher revenues to reinvest autonomously in our project. And alongside that, we will also acquire a software that is extremely, that will support our activities because, as I previously said, when we use fabric, we have enormous amounts of different kinds of fabric, which is very difficult to deal with. It's a complicated production cycle, that of having to keep changing the fabric. So also this software will increase our skills in management and also the management of our raw material. This gives you an idea of what we've done up to now, and and obviously we have future plans that want us to follow this path, this growing path. So if in the first year we had 5 employees that were employed through other social cooperatives, and from April 2013, which was when QUID was founded, to the end of 2013, we had reached €90,000 revenue. But without specifying every year, these numbers have grown, and today, in 2017, we finished with €1,950,000 revenue in break-even, and we now have 90 employees. It says 85 there. That was the end of 2017, but today there are 90 employees working in QUID, 30% of which come from the certified disadvantaged categories, another 30% from the non-certified disadvantaged categories. There are 16 different nationalities working in QUID. The youngest of my colleagues is 19, and the eldest, I think, is 70. So there is a very wide lifespan, and it's an incredible pool of skills and knowledge and of experience that everyone in QUID can benefit from. Sorry. This is the team. If my colleagues knew I was showing you this, they would be very, very angry. We now have better pictures of our. We've organized it in such a way that we all now have a nicer picture, but I haven't received them yet. So this is it for now. I will only specify who the top left people are. Anna and Ludovico are founder and co-founder, president and vice president of Progetto QUID. The other people are not less important, it's just there are many of us and we're actually growing in terms of the operative team. But just to say, these people are, as you can see, mainly women, so we have reached also, in general, Progetto QUID has 80% of female employment, 90% in the management team. Age average of 35 years, so very young team, but with overall experience in fashion business and in social studies and in economics and in fundraising that really, really has supported the growth of our activity. And these pictures are much nicer, and these are some of the amazing people that we get to work with every day, and that really keep us grounded and keep us connected to the real mission of Progetto QUID. I hope you have enjoyed this, and I really thank you very much for listening. If you have any questions.